Hey guys and gals, just a quick video. I wanted to show you. Got my welding table into the garage and I've been doing some cleaning so I can actually work out here. So I've got some stuff moved around, still in the process. Let me see, I got my bandsaw back into the garage, got my chop saw set up. Got my little mini lathe that I need to fix. The control board on that died. So eventually I will be getting that fixed. That's my big ass sheet of 6061 aluminum that I got for a steel. I actually got two of them for 200 bucks. It's 3/4 inch plate. So pretty damn good deal on that. But another project I'm working on, I may end up selling that, but you see my plasma table has become a bit of a catch-all for the moment. I have another issue. This is a DIY table, so the other issue I have is that my floating Z axis unfortunately has too much play in it. I don't know if you can, sun glare is killing me here, but you can see it moves side to side. I put this little temporary thing there to try to mitigate a little bit of it, but I did go ahead and order some linear rail, so I'm going to actually be changing this out for a set of linear rail. That way it keeps it much more stable. So I did do a clean out on the table not too long ago, put some fresh water in it, did another cut. It was a sign for a Christmas present for somebody. And I need to get a piece of expanded metal for the bottom instead of that fence panel because it's just not working for me. My plasma drying dirty ass towel. But this control box, let me move some stuff around so I can kind of show you into the control box. All right, so I got my main power switch here, which that open is on. You close that, shuts off everything. I do also have another emergency stop here, and this just turns off the MyPlasm controller, not the whole thing. So if I have some sort of issue and I need it to stop, then I can just hit that, or I can cut all the power right there. So in here, I don't know if you can see very well, we have the 48 volt power supply. I went with that because I am using some large NEMA 34 motors that I got on a pretty good steal on eBay. I got a set of 6 of them for, I think it was 110, 115-ish. And then I have the DM556, I believe is what they were, stepper motor controllers. And I used all shielded 18 gauge wire for all of those connections. I've got 2 5-volt fans. One is pulling in and the other is pushing out, so it kind of cycles the air through the box. You see there's the MyPlasm controller, which I've been very pleased with. It's very easy to utilize, and I did see that it does have some additional functions to do milling and engraving, so I may be trying to figure that out at some point as well. So down here I have a 5-volt 1 amp power supply for, or excuse me, 24 volt, I believe it's a 5 amp power supply for the controller, which is the smaller one, right? Sorry, my camera angles suck. So the smaller one powers just the controller, and then this larger one is a 5 volt, and that one powers the fans. So this is probably an easier way to do it, but I bought stuff, cheap, which, I can put some links to items that I purchased on Amazon, some affiliate links. And if you buy from those links, if you want to do a similar build, that'll help me out and give me a little kickback so that I can do some more projects. I did try to keep everything labeled on both sides so that I can figure out what's what. I do need to do some cable management here. It's a little messy. Once it gets into the actual cable carrier, it's a little better. But so one thing you have to do is make sure all your shielded cables all ground properly. Otherwise, you can get interference from the electronics and the plasma cutter, which I have right now I have a Lotus LTP 5500D CNC, which has the port on the back for the CNC connections. And then on top of that, you can see I have my torch height controller, and that was really easy to set up as well. The Lotus plasma cutter is a 1-to-1 voltage output, so you do have to follow the directions pretty closely so you don't nuke the CNC or the torch height controller. So just make sure if you're going to use this setup to follow those directions closely so you don't mess up and kill your entire controller. You can see here's my drain for the table. What I do is I use a flat hose for like a pool drain flat hose, and I just run that outside onto the ground. I don't put any kind of chemicals in the water other than some borax to help keep down like crud from building up in there. So I don't have any kind of crazy chemicals sitting down in the water, which I kind of like. It just means you got to clean out the table more often. But I also, inside my water pan, I sprayed a stainless steel spray paint coating, which has helped significantly reduce the rust and things. I mean, you still get it, obviously, because your slats going across, those are bare steel. And then where they contact for my ground, those all have bare spots as well, so that those can all ground to the ground here. So you got little micro switches for your limits, and they're okay. I think I may at some point switch to a proximity type sensor, just because these I'm not real happy with exactly how they function, but they work for now. Most of the time it's not an issue unless you're trying to manually move the table and you push it too far and then it cuts off and you got to go through the controller to deactivate it and then switch it, move it, deactivate it again, and then now it's back to normal. But it's kind of a pain. I did, when I was running my electronics again, try to make sure everything's got labels. So those do have labels kind of throughout the cable carriers. And you can see my motors are mounted on a swivel, which I have some bronze bushings in here so that it can actually move. It's pretty tight, but still allows it to move. You got the spring to keep it engaged with the track, and that's the same on both sides. So I'm still in the process of cleaning. But so the water pan on my table actually used to be the matching table to this one. I had a setup where I had two 4x4 welding tables, and because I'm cheap, I decided to go ahead and basically flipped it upside down, cleaned it, re-welded all the seams, and then that became my water pan. The only issue is it's heavy as hell. So I added some lifting tabs. I got one on each corner so I can use my engine hoist with some chain and get that lifted if I ever need to take it out, do some serious maintenance. Which so far, with the one cleaning I've done, it's just as easy just to take the slats out, basically, sweep it out, vacuum it out once everything's kind of dried up in there, and then you're good to go. At some point I may need to take it off, which is why I added those lifting tabs. Here's the back of the plasma cutter. You can see where it's got the connections for the CNC, your air connection, and the pressure control for the air. Now this did come with a twist lock connector, which I actually swapped out because I don't have that kind of plug here. So I changed it out to the standard welder plug, which, you can order those online. They're pretty cheap. I think I paid like maybe $10 for it. So here's the Z, or excuse me, this is the X-axis with its spring-loaded setup here, NEMA 34, with these rack and pinion is off of AliExpress. It was, again, I have a pretty tight budget that I'm working with, which is why I ended up ordering off of there. But it's a 1.5 module rack and pinion. And I believe that it's an 18 tooth gear on the actual motor. Let's see, here's the motor. And I got that on eBay. And, an overkill NEMA 34 motor for my Z-axis, which you can see, got that all set up with the linear rail. You got your floating head switch right here. But again, we got that issue. Got all my, these were off of Amazon, linear rails, HDH 20s, I believe is what it was. The aluminum extrusions I have for the X and Y axis, those are off of eBay as well from what's the name of that company? Open Builds? Yes, Open Builds. So that's where I got that from. And then, you got your cable carrier or follower chain, cable chain, whatever you want to call it. Those were off of Amazon. And those are pretty inexpensive as well. So this is just kind of a quick overview. You can kind of see, the rail and see how the motor engages. If I can get that lined up to show you. Might be blurry as hell. It's very sunny out here, so it's hard for me to see what I'm actually showing you. But kind of a brief overview. If you have any specific questions about it, feel free to send me a message. I'll get back to you as fast as I can. It was a pretty, easy build overall, but it does take time. And that control box I actually got from Amazon as well. It's a Vivor. It was a new open box, so I got it for like $80. They're normally like over $100. So that was a pretty good find. So that's always something you can do on Amazon too, is the new or like new open box or damaged box, you can get a good deal on stuff a lot of times by doing that. And there was nothing wrong with this box. It actually came with some extra parts too, so I don't know if they bought 2 of them and returned some of the parts from the other one or what. But very sturdy box too. I think it's 16 gauge. But anyways, like I was saying, if you have any questions, any specific questions you want me to try to answer, just let me know. And like I said, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas for some projects you'd like to see as well, you can also let me know down in the comments. So, all right. Thank you for watching.